day and good afternoon. I think we are streaming live. It says we are here on Facebook. My name is Kelsey Ruff-Smith, and I am the Director of Programs here at the Community Foundation for Ocala, Marion County. And I'm so excited today because we have with us ClickBid, or Handbid. I'm so sorry, Lev. It's not the right one at all. It's Handbid, and my brain is fried. Handbid here with David and Diana and Josh, who are amazing. And they're going to tell us everything about their platform. I'm so excited. If you all are ready, I'm going to let you take it away for any questions that you have as they come through. Go ahead and put those in the comments on the post, and I will make sure that our presenters receive them. Thank you to Diana and to David and to Josh for being with us here today. Take it away, y'all.
All righty. Kelsey, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be live. We are all over the country. Josh and I are in Colorado, where the Handbid headquarters is located. And Diana is in sunny Florida with hopefully most of you that are out there. She's on a little COVID vacation party
it's
at
so
the
relaxing
beach.
here.
We're not really sure. She's having a good time. But as I said, really a pleasure to be here. Excited to share our platform with you today. Diana is going to be the one running the screen share. She is the expert at demos. And so Josh and I will, along the way, chime in with questions. But Diana, would you like to just go ahead and give a little bit of an introduction?
Thank you, David. So I'm Diana Duplanchet. I'm normally just out of DC in Alexandria, but we packed up the car and came down to Florida. So it's been great to be here. What I'm going to do today, I mean, Handbid is big. Handbid is, there's a lot that we could review today. I think what I want to do is start to do some overview and take your questions as they start to come in. The most important thing to know about Handbid is that it's a platform. So all of the fundraisers that you would put together for your organization would live in our events.handbid.com website. And that's where you would drive people to, and people could be driven to, and all the sharing would happen from events.handbid.com. But also, Handbid isn't just a website. It's also an app. So what we're seeing now, especially with the COVID-19 world, is, and I mean, I'm particularly one of them. I have installed 9 apps on my phone in the last 10 weeks, y'all. I can't believe it. So it's important to know people are spending time on their phone inside of an app. 90% of the time that we have our phones open, it's because we're looking at an app. And so our CEO, he's a visionary. He figured that out back in 2011 when nobody was. The job was a lot harder. So anyway, what we see is that there's a higher level of engagement by use of an app, but also what we're looking for is this kind of one-click engagement. We want things to be easy for your bidders. We want their lives to really help. We want their donations to be streamlined. And if you as an organization can send them a link and all they do is hit one click and they're registered inside of this app that lives on their phone, then that's going to make their lives a lot easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to jump in. And what you're looking at here is the Handbid manager. Now, your organization would live here, and then you would have 3 options to create an event in our platform. So there's an auction style event, there's a peer-to-peer fundraiser style event, and there's also just what we call an event, which can be either through our crowdfunding tool, which is called the Puzzle Project, or you could just create an event that has tickets or an event that has straight donations. So there's a lot of options inside of our platform, and everything would live under the umbrella of your organization. For today, we're going to kind of spend a little time in auctions. And then if we need to jump around, it's not a problem. We totally can. So when we get inside of this auction, you're going to have some settings that you have to go through and create. And we've got a lot of great videos for that. You're going to need an auction logo. You're going to need a banner. All that's important. But what does this look like to the user? What does this look like from the front end? Well, it's going to look like a page like this. And please keep in mind, I'm on a hotspot in the Surf Shack. So things don't go as fast as they do at home. And so, so we've got ticket options. If you need to sell a ticket to your event, one day we will be gathering together. We will be hugging each other. We will be shaking hands again, and we'll be gathering in big groups. So in that scenario, if you have to use Handbid to sell tickets, we have a way for you to do that. You can also integrate in,
Yeah, Diana, to your point, I mean, our tool was created at an event gala fundraiser, right? But because of COVID-19, we've had to make the shift, and that's the great thing about the platform is you can still do all of the same things and fundraise through a virtual event. And so, to your point, maybe even if you were to have a virtual Zoom link or a live streaming, which Diana will get to, that's in our platform, you can still sell tickets to it and include some sort of form of donation to include your donors. But continue, sorry.
We're actually seeing a lot of really clever uses with tickets. I mean, sometimes when you buy a ticket, that means you drop your door. It might mean, any number. It might mean you get a birthday box sent to your door because someone's celebrating their 80th birthday with their particular organization. So there's a lot of iterations we're seeing around ticketing. But what does this look like in terms of just being a bidder? Oh my gosh, I'm already logged in. Let me log out of Handbid. I'm always logged into Handbid, y'all. Okay, so if we're looking at this front page, this is your event page. This is kind of your landing page in our system. So you would have a banner and your auction logo. Note our media carousel over here. This is where you're going to do all your sharing. This is just one place you're going to do sharing. We've got other ideas around that. So let's drop down a little bit. You're going to be able to push through a certain time that your live stream is on, and that time is going to get added to this page. Oh gosh, let me grab my screen here. Hold on. Okay, let me actually turn this off real quick. I was just on a demo right before our call, so I have some things on. Okay, so as we move down, you can feature some items on the front end. You can drop in images to enhance your page, and you can also drop in some sponsor logos. Now, if you notice when I hover over this logo, you're actually going to be able to link through to this individual logo so that what you've got then is an ability to count the number of clicks that each of these sponsors would generate, and thereby giving your sponsor some data around how many clicks they're generating from being a sponsor at your event, which is, I think, very helpful. Okay, so now we're here, but what happens if we want to bid? What happens if we're just ready to place a bid on an item? So we're gonna go here to browse items. And there's a lot of ways to get somebody connected. So you're gonna have an ability to send out a URL. That's gonna be individual just for you. But you can also use what we call our invite list. So if we go here to people, guests, and invite, import, and invite list, this is your ability to import your database inside of our software and then craft a message that's specific, written by you, but using these tokens with images from you on exactly what your plan is. Folks, we're having our first virtual auction. Please join us. And I'm going to get a little techie because these are the tech talks. So I'm going to mention this. If you see this URL right here, this is a token. This token contains some very specific data about an individual user. So to create a Handbid account, you need 4 pieces of information: first name, last name, email address, and cell phone number. And if you include that token is going to pull all of that data from an individual user and supply them with an individual link. So that, again, you've got that one click that's going to then engage your bidder. Oh, all I have to do is click here. And so then the user would just be registered. Now, they have to put their card on file. I mean, that makes sense to you, right? But this is going to help streamline your process. Another thing you could do is, move my Zoom people out of the way, is that you can also send a text as well. So if you have the kind of organization that's doing multiple events in our platform, what you're going to get is this adoption curve. So you're going to get this, your people are going to get used to hearing from you about Handbid. And then the next thing you know, you've got, oh, I can just send this text message and all I have to do is click this. their auction is open in Handbid again. So then I could just click through and I'd be auto registered. Okay, so here we are. Yeah.
And real
Sorry,
quick, back to that point. I mean, with this day and age, and what we're seeing a lot of is that people have the interest to run multiple fundraisers because they're not doing their big gala event this year, and so they need to make up that sum of money. And so, the invite list works great. So exactly what she said. You want to run another fundraiser, you want to run another auction, you can pull people from previous events within that invite list and go ahead and blast messages out to them. And as like Diana said, they become more and more accustomed. We make it really easy for you to continue to communicate with your donor base, because this is more than auctions. We have peer-to-peer fundraising and the donations pages, as Diana mentioned earlier, that you can continue to utilize to raise money for your organization.
Thank you, David. Okay, so if I want to browse items, I'm back over here on the web page. I'm curious, right? I want to know what y'all have. So on the website, the items are divided in two ways. Over here in this section, they're divided by type, and down here, they're divided by category. So what if I was just curious about the adventure? So I could click on that, it would filter this category, and if I wanted to bid on an item, I could tap it open. So I can read about it, I can see who donated this item, and then if I wanted to place a bid, I would tap the green Bid Now button. Now, Handbid's gonna say, great, we're glad you want to bid, but we need you to know who you are. So you're going to have to create an account. So to do that, we're going to talk about this a second because this is important. So again, we're going back to those pieces of data that you need to create a Handbid account. First name, last name, email address, and cell phone number. Well, all that's here, except because we're asking your bidders to put a card on file on a website, we are also going to remain highly secure. So our credit card processor is PCI certified, Handbid is PCI certified, and in order to maintain that very high standard of security, we are going to ask your bidders to put in a passphrase. So you're welcome. Okay, just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, we take this very seriously, and this is actually not the workflow inside the app, but we do want to mention that we're doing this because we're asking your bidders to put a card on file on the website. You can access the web all over the place, but you are always going to have your phone with you. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in, and don't judge because I've had a Handbid account since circa 2013. And so I still have my Comcast account with Handbid, y'all. Isn't that funny? Okay. So now I've got a pop-up. Well, I've got two pop-ups. So first, here's a welcome message. Now, this is a great place to tell your bidders what your plan is for your live stream. Thank you for registering to bid. We're so excited to have our auction open for 2 weeks. Join us at 8 p.m. on Friday night to participate in our live stream event. Done. You can change that as often as you want. But now I've got this other pop-up. Well, check this out. What happens if I text myself a link? We're going to get back to that. So this has been sent to my mobile phone. Great. But what if I want to bid right now from my laptop? So if I go back over here, I'm taken back to this item. I tap Bid Now. Now I already have a card on file, so Handbid didn't ask me to add one because I've already had one. So just FYI, if you have that box checked that says require credit card to place bids or make purchases, Handbid will prompt the bidder to do that. So I'm going to say yes. Now I have a bid placed in the system. Check it out. So I've got a dashboard here. I know what I'm winning and losing. I can start to manage everything right from here. So this is kind of like the website looks great. It looks wonderful, but that Handbid's awesome. So let's just say that I've got this app already installed on my phone. So this is the beauty of those smart links. So here, remember I just texted myself that link right from the website. So if I click this, here's what's going to happen. It's going to take me, and remember I'm on the Surf Shack hotspot. So it's going to take me, and I'm going to be able to, oh, hold on now. It's thinking. Here it comes. Here comes my picture. So now I'm taken right to your auction. I didn't have to do anything but click a button, click a link, excuse me. So that's the beauty of those smart links. If I didn't have the app installed, then it would take me to a registration page and I would just be able to bid from the website from my phone. for purposes of today, I mean, if somebody wants me to jump back and show you what it looks like on the phone, I totally will. But for purposes of today, let's just spend a little time in the app. So we're going to swipe. We're swiping from right to left. This is another great place for a sponsor logo, or you can drop in your own logo. I see a lot of iterations of this. So here's one that I like to show my clients when I do demos. You can see this client dropped in 3 different logos and even put a banner around it. So that makes it look really nice. But this field here is customizable. So this could say, you know, all proceeds will benefit, and then your own logo, or this could say, thank you to our premier sponsors. Either way, the average Handbid user will see this page 5 to 7 times throughout the pretty good real estate me. I'm going to tap Let's Get Bidding. We're not going to do tickets, but well, we can. We'll just show you what they look like. So this is, you can do everything from the app. You don't have to take people to the website for tickets and then to the app for bidding. You can just get people to buy their tickets from the app if they want. So that's an option for you. And so if I go back to my dashboard, here I am. Now apps are all about swiping. So we're going to be swiping and flicking and tapping through here. So we'll get to live stream in a second, but all your categories are going to live at the top of the screen. So they're going to live here. Once I have an item categorized, I can go up and down through a screen. And once I'm in a category, I can actually go right and left through the category as well. So to get back, I'm just going to tug about in the center of this item or this image and pull it back down, and that's going to get me back to the category. So when I'm ready to place a bid, I have this bid now. I'm going to tap the bid now button, and then I get a pop-up question, and I'm going to have a yes. And now I have a bid placed in the system. And then if I go back to, and I'm waiting for my reflector to catch up with my voice, I can tap here on this box or this button here, and this is going to bring me back to my dashboard where I can see everything I'm winning and losing. So now I can really keep track of what's happening. So lots of functionality around the apps. We can do buy nows, we can do for sales, you can place max bids. There's even a no bids category. You as an auction manager can send out messages like this. And then this is going to show up on the screen. Hold on, there it is. So now you've got a way to communicate with all of your registered bidders while your auction is open. So this is a really great place to just kind of stop and see if there's any questions that are popping in now while we're kind of in the middle of the bidding process, or did you want to address the questions at the end? I'm actually open to either one.
Trying to find the mute button. We have not had any questions come through yet, so we can keep going right now.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so then let's see here. What do I want to show you? Let's do a little live stream. I feel like that. Oh, David, did you bid against me? Y'all, David bid against me. It's good stuff.
We can't skip this. This is real time. Notifications coming in. That was quick.
That's amazing.
David. Yeah. So you didn't hear this because I have a headpiece on, but the Handbid app says, "Oh no." So we've got multiple messaging coming through. This is the distinction between an app and a web-based solution. Handbid can do things to your phone that web-based solutions can't do. We can play a sound like, "Oh no!" We can vibrate your phone. We can send this very rich push notification that is going to show up even if you clear your app and get back into it. This is the first thing you're going to see. So if I tapped this button and I tried to bid again, and now David's going to get the losing message.
Darn, I am losing the item. Yes, and you are winning. Congratulations.
Exactly. So now, David, what I'm going to do, you know what's so funny, y'all? I add David to my demos probably 2 or 3 times a day. It's so nice to have him on here doing it himself.
And I get the notifications daily. Yes.
Daily,
Text messages.
exactly. I'm sure you do. Okay, so let's look at this bourbon package. So let's pull up on the screen. It's valued at $900. Let's talk about a max bid. So max bid is the concept of what are you willing to spend on this item? It's kind of like your conversation with yourself. It's valued at $900. Are you willing to go to $600? If that's the case, if you're willing to go that high, so I can set a max bid of $600 here. Well, let's go to $610. I'll set a max bid. And what Handbid's going to do, it's going to keep me at the lowest possible bid. And it's going to let me stay the high winner until someone goes over 610. So every time David places a bid on this item.
Yeah, and so what I'm going to do too is I'm going to talk so that they can see my phone as I share it. So I'm going to click bid now, and then let's see. So I'm going to place a bid, and you'll notice that on my side it says I'm still losing even though I placed a bid, and she is still winning. So
I'm still winning.
Exactly.
So, but what Handbid did is it bumped me up to the next bid increment. So earlier I was winning at 350 or 340 or something like that, and now I'm going to have to pay 390 to win this item because David was interested in it. So this is a really great solution for all of your board members, all of your committee who is racing around like crazy people during your physical events. But even if you're just, kind of managing your virtual event and you still want to stay in the bidding game and be a part of things, this is another great solution for you. So another thing that I want to draw your attention to is this button here, share auction. This is one of my favorite things. And so if we tap this, you're actually going to be able to pop open your own. Hold on, I'm waiting for my screen to catch up because my internet is unstable. There it is. Okay, so I could share this with everybody I know. Hey, look what we're doing over here. This is just a text message, but it's got my auction logo. It's got that link that's going to take me right there. That's amazing. That's like free advertising. So we can do that with the auction, but you can also do that with each individual item. So I could go over here to hot yoga. And if I were to tap, oh, sorry, hold on, there it is. And so if I were to tap that share button right here, that's going to pop it open, give me the ability to share this. And now I can say, hey, friend, I remember you mentioned you wanted to try hot yoga. And you can start going. Something like that. But this is also a great way for you as the organization to put together your social media marketing plan. So let's just say before the event, you do some big open. You do like a big giant hurrah around your open. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to share your auction. Well, once things are open and things are rocking, now you're going to start to share your individual items. So then you would start to go into each item and do your sharing. And you might, have some kind of plan to do those a couple of times a day. So that's something we love. And another thing that we like is, sorry.
Yeah, just real quick, to your point, I'm gonna let Josh chime in here. Josh, I know you've been sitting quiet, but what is the importance of share feature right now, even for your guest, even for your donor base, to generate awareness of your event, especially if it's not physical and in person?
Hi, everybody. I'm Josh. I'm the Director of Client Services. And so my job is to listen to everyone. That's why I'm sitting quietly, David.
Yes.
Thanks, Josh. You're the best.
I'm just listening. So David makes a great point. We talk a lot about this on our webinars, but right now, as you guys are searching for people to be interested in your mission and your cause, it's important to cast that really wide net. And we talk about it a lot. And I think it's an important point, is that this is an incredible moment for you and your organizations to start thinking about pulling in new people to support you and to remind the folks that have supported you in the past to come back. And so our sharing features are really important at that capacity, to be able to say, here's a really great item to encourage people to be your cheerleaders is an important part of this. So what Diana just showed you, I think, just to highlight this point, being able to share something or encouraging your guests to share for you is the future of fundraising. Having that stacked on top peer-to-peer feeling, that crowdfunding feeling, is something that younger generations of donors are totally getting behind, and even your older generations of donors are starting to understand. And so I think these sharing features are absolutely critical to your success.
Thanks, Josh.
Sure. Yeah, I'll go back to sitting quietly. No, I'm kidding. You guys can pull me back in when we talk a little bit about how to interact with the service team in Handbid. We take a lot of pride in doing the very best we can in our service. I think our service ratings reflect that. And so when you guys are ready to talk about that and some of the back end stuff, I'm happy to chime in.
Will do. Thanks.
Yeah, I think what I'd like to do is talk about live stream and then kind of spend a little time on the manager and let you do some talking back there, Josh. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Let's do it. Okay, so Handbid in response to COVID-19. Now, make no mistake, this was cooking in the pot a little bit before all this happened, but once it was very squarely in front of us that our clients needed a solution to create a virtual gala, even though we were all at home. Our team got to work, and they created what we're seeing, and in different auction fundraisers throughout each weekend and all through the week, is this ability to stream a live video or a pre-recorded video onto Handbid and on the same screen be able to bid. And no other mobile bidding solution out there that's doing this right now. The ability to give your bidders one video and bid is critical, because you don't want them to have to compete against a Zoom or your auction, or a way for them to give. So let's see exactly what this looks like. And just so you know, so we kind of mitigate some original questions, everything that happens through Handbid Live starts off at YouTube. It has to go through YouTube to get to Handbid. You can do all kinds of enhancements inside that YouTube feed with BeLive or StreamYard or Zoom even, or you can just stream a video from YouTube. And that has a lot to do with, you know, the kind of organization you are. Maybe you're super relaxed. Maybe you're a little bit more on the formal side. Maybe you have a very a stacked kind of board or presentation that you need to get through. Maybe you just want to interview some people that your organization has impacted. So it's a lot more one-on-one, a little bit more like a podcast. But either way, the stream is coming through YouTube. This is familiar, right? That's their icon. So you're going to drop that into our system. And then what we're going to be able to do is promote an item. So, okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to turn this on. And if I go over here, we're going to get a pop-up. So this is on the website version. You're getting a message sent to the user that Handbid is live. If we're in the app, sorry, it's on my app right now. I'm just waiting for my reflector tool to catch up in the Surf Shack. And so this is the same kind of message that's coming through on the well. So what we're going to be able to do is see this video. See that? I'm just going to put it right up there. That's what it looks like. So it'll catch up eventually. But what I'm going to do is tap take me there. And when I do that, of course there. Oh, okay. Sorry. So when I do that, we're going to be able to see a video. And again, this is you and your organization sitting in front of a camera or a pre-recorded video or different iterations of all of those things. And then you can promote an item and ask people to give. So if someone wanted to give and you were to be talking about this, then this would come through and you would start to see the bid activity down here on the screen. We have a lot of ideas about how to make this work, but what we're doing, if there's not one way, there's not one right way of doing it either, because we're seeing organizations go live 3 times in the course of their auction being open. We're seeing organizations bring in a live auctioneer and act a little bit like a commentator. We're seeing split screens. We're seeing all kinds of different ways of interpreting how to use this tool. But the most important thing for you to know is that your bidders are bidding and they're watching your video all in the same place. And that makes life easy for them when you are trying to, oh, where'd my phone go?
I think Reflector finally just crashed on you in the surf chat.
Yeah, so what we're seeing is the ability for you to be able to promote an item, see bid activity, and watch a video all in the same place. So I think this is a great way to, or a great place to kind of pass the reins to Josh, and we can move back to the manager. If there's any questions along the way, then certainly pop them in. But I think this is a really great kind of foundation of what running an auction in Handbid might look like.
Right, and let me, Josh, right before, let me just reiterate, however you want to do your YouTube stream, however you want to, you know, create a presentation, as long as that is landing on YouTube, you can plug it into our system. So we've got an entire webinar that you can go find on our website. Go to handbid.com, look at the Learn tab in the top right. And then webinars, we've got an archive of all kinds of stuff, but we just did one, I think it was last week, on live stream, and would love for you to check that out and learn a little bit more about the different solutions, especially if you're new to it, which I know that a lot of people are. I mean, we're new to it ourselves, and knowing what the best way to do it is. So we've got some tips and tricks that you can use. Yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing some really cool stuff. I was just on the phone yesterday with a client who, she's going to do the kickoff, and then she's going to have her live stream, and then she's actually going to interview some folks using VLive in Uganda who have been recipients of funds and training from her organization. And they're going to interview them and have a chat feature come in, ask questions, and the person in Uganda, the recipient of the funding, is going to answer the questions. I think that's like the perfect storm, right? They did it all just right.
Mm-hmm.
And so it'll all be broadcast live through our live system. And we were walking her through it yesterday. So I thought that was really cool. Diana, would you mind being my hands since you're sharing the screen?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So
Sure.
so we'll while we're in the manager, I think there's some critical pieces. You know, all of the software it can be feel complex at first, or it can be daunting to jump right in, but you shouldn't feel that way. Handbid has a lot of things it does, but it also, as you get going, feels really intuitive once you kind of get in the groove. The first thing that we encourage you to do is jump in and look at our knowledge base. Most companies like ours have a really robust Google style knowledge base. So you're actually going to jump into the knowledge base and type in something like what we call natural language, where you'll just say, I want to learn something about Handbid, and you'll look for it just like you do for Google. So if you said something like bidding or bidder, or bid, you can find answers on that. Or if you're looking for how to sell a ticket, you might put in tickets. So here's bidder, and here's an intro to mobile bidding, bidder reports. So it really is that simple, and you'll search our knowledge base. That's one way to find stuff in Handbid. The second way is right down on the right side of the screen, and it's the most popular feature in all of Handbid. And you might have heard some dinging earlier because people are dinging us all the time. But that's our live chat. Our live chat is open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday on Mountain Time. And you can contemporaneously talk to us while you're moving through the system. And I think this has been a game changer for everybody. I don't think from what I understand, the top 3 our competitors do not have this feature to be able to talk to somebody live right where you're stuck. And then our team jumps right in. And I think it's important to know that the team on the service side has worked in nonprofits, understands nonprofits, and does our very best to understand your mission And so when you jump in, we try to really understand what the problem is and really where you're going. It's not usually a technical problem, whereas it's more of a, how should I do this? What would feel right to my user group? And so that's a great place just to ask questions and jump in. Looking at some of my favorite features of the manager, and you guys, David and Diana, jump in on your favorites. Of my favorites, the first one is, I've run a lot of auctions, and organizing my items is one of my least favorite things, because it's a big pain. I don't like to have to deal with all the items. I really, really hate organizing them. But I have a great team that runs for my children's auction at their school. We use a template that Handbid has created for us, which I love. Makes my life a whole lot easier. And I can take that template and I can actually import it directly into our system. And so Diana just opened it up. She went to items, and then she went to our import tool. And it really is this simple. It's just an Excel sheet, very, very simple. But it tells me how to organize it so that we'll pull our sample file and see it. But it tells me how to organize my items as I'm getting them. So I'm gathering them. I have my team out gathering them, asking for donations. And then this sample file shows you exactly, it's in the Surf Shack. So, so it's low. But it shows me exactly how I should organize them for the import. And then I can import all of them all at the same time. So rather than going in, what's that?
She's knowledge basing import.
Yeah.
She just typed in import, pulled the entire article on it. There you go.
Exactly how to do it. We update these constantly for you guys. So if there's some new trick or best practice, we're going to change it in the knowledge base. But anyway, it's just a CSV file, an Excel file. A lot of you are already working in your own system. That's cool too. You're just going to grab the columns and paste them into our template. No big deal, and then import them. It all happens very quickly. And of course, if you run into hiccups, you can always just ping us and you can. Sorry, my children are joining our call. Sorry, that never happened, right?
Right.
Welcome to the party. That's what the best part about working from home is.
Maybe. So anyway, you can import. That's one of my favorite parts of the manager. It makes life a whole lot easier. Of course, you can also just put them in one at a time. You can add multiple pictures. You set all of your bid increments, all of your fair market value, all of that's built into the system. Another thing that I really, really like is all the communication tools. So up in the gear wheel settings, up in the auction manager at the top there, if you click there, you can see some templates. Once again, we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you. So we're trying to give you all of the pieces you need. And under the templates tab, you can send messages directly to the bidders. We already saw it when you open the app, but you can also send them a message when they're finished with the auction, tell them exactly what's going to happen. This is 100% critical. You must do this at the end of a virtual auction. They have to know how they're going to get their stuff, because trust me, they will email me and they'll email the service team and say, "Where's my signed autographed baseball?" And we don't know. So this is a really great tool for you guys to say thank you, to let them know that there is some kind of tax benefit, and then to sort of seek out the tax benefit for that item, and how to get it, which is the most critical part. And so I think the thank you and the how to get it are really nice. I love that piece of it. I also like the goals tab. David, I just want to point that out really quickly. The goals tab right here, I like to track everything that's happening, and I love to celebrate our wins, right? So I want to show, I often will show exactly what's happening in our auction. And this is a great place that really we can celebrate what's happening at the event. This goes great, and it goes hand in hand with our Handbid TV, which I wanted to show my very favorite thing in all of Handbid maybe. I don't know, broadcast messages are way up there. I got to tell you, Diana was talking about it. It was so hard for me not to talk about it. I love broadcast messages because it's so awesome to watch the entire room of people look down at their phone and go, "Oh, I had a bid on something." They're like, look, that's a deal. So I love the broadcast message. Anyway, so on the Handbid TV, this is a great thing to show on your virtual auction, especially if you're doing a paddle raise. I love to show this screen and say, here we are in our special appeal. We're only at 1%. Come on, guys, get us there. Who's gonna give us $5,000? Diana donates $5,000. Thank you, Diana, so much for making blah 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 happen. So really critical. We're now going to be able to build 20 more wells in Uganda. So I love this, and it really does work. People get excited about it. They feel it. It's a visceral, I have to participate. So this is a critical piece of success when the virtual auction. If you can show this, it's wonderful. And it doesn't have to be high tech. We saw it 2 weeks ago where they showed this screen, and they just turned a screen around that they had, and they showed it on their camera. And I loved it. I thought it was kitsch and funny.
Nice.
And it totally worked. They said, "Oh, here we are," and they would hold up the screen. it was so cheesy but perfect. So it doesn't have to be a high-tech solution to be super effective. They blew their goal out of the water, so that was great. The last thing I want to show you on the manager, and then I think, do we have any questions yet? I wanted to see how we're doing on questions.
Still doing good on the questions front. I'm waiting for people to throw them in the comments though, so load them up.
Perfect.
We have viewers, just don't have anybody on it with the questions. So
Awesome. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I love how we manage our guests, right? So if we go to the People's tab, Diana mentioned earlier that there's three kind of parts to it. The first is the invite list, and of course the invite list is more than just an invite list. It's an entire compendium of how to communicate with your guests. So you have a whole bunch of ways to talk to people. And I think that's it. We might even change the name, because I think it's really important to be able to say, we're going to send out a custom email, we're going to send out a custom broadcast to the group that we've identified. And you actually could be very scalpel about this. You could be very precise about who you want to talk to, who you want to invite, send individual messages. If you need to customize something for a big donor, this is a great place to do it. The second part that I like is the guest list. So for my event, most people are already buying tickets through the school. And then we end up importing the entire list into our system. This works the same as the item import. We have a template. You fill in the template and follow the rules to the template, and then you import the entire guest list in one shot. So you're not adding, you can add guests later, but this is great to be able to pull it through. And it's very clear. This is an exact way to do it. It shows you, it walks you through the steps. It says, are you sure? So it makes sure that you know exactly how to do it. And nothing sneaky about it. And then finally on the bidders.
But this is also where all your ticket purchasers land too. So if you're selling tickets to your event, they're going to land in your guest list so that you can go in and check people in. So if you have a list of people that are showing up and you're not selling tickets, sure. But if you're going to sell tickets to our platform, they're going to land here so that you can have a formal check into your event.
Yeah, bidders or guests, and we can get in the weeds on that one, but David is exactly right. The guest list is going to highlight everyone who's going to be attending your event in some capacity, right? And then, of course, the last little bit that I want to talk about is the reporting tools. We have an entire suite of reporting tools that I think, I'm a big data person. I think that kind of goes with the territory in my world. And so I want to see exactly what happened. I want to see my margins. I want to see how much money I made on each item. I want to see how much money all my bidders spent, each individual bidder. I want to see how each item performed. And so there's an incredible list of reports I can run here, and detailed reports from the people list as well. So I think it's pretty awesome on the reporting side of things, if that's what you're into. Which I am. I want to know so I can improve my auction year over year. And if you're working with Diana, she also loves this data, and she will tell you all about what you should do next, which I think is one of my favorite things about her. she'll say, I see where this did this. You got to do it this way. And we really can't help you this way. So that's something you can just call in. Once again, our service team is not just about, we're not offshored, just technical following a script. You really are getting people who run a lot of auctions. We even have a team that can help you as a virtual assistant, who can help you run your own event virtually, and they'll just help you run, be there to do the technical side for you. We have people who attend events for you. So we have staff to do everything. And it's all about how much help you want.
So Josh and Diana, I've got a question for you, because we just threw a ton of stuff at people, right? I mean, we are feature rich. We've got every feature under the sun. And with that being said, we're able to do a lot. We're able to fit really any kind of fundraising event out there. So how do we work with people to best craft a plan so that they are doing the right things in our system, and they are learning what they need to learn to prep for their event, to execute their event, and then to reconcile their event at the end of the day?
Yeah, that's a really great question, David. And that's kind of my point about, we have some great coaching packages, but really the bottom line is that it's not just about the software and all of the features and all of that stuff. I mean, I think it's all important, but it really is about the know-how. And we are going to, take you by the hand and coach you through. Diane and I especially have worked a lot of auctions, have worked in nonprofits, are highly versed in this world. And so our goal is to just make sure you make it through. And of course, if I can't answer the question, I'm going to elevate it to somebody else who might be able to answer the question. We work as such a close-knit team that you're getting a true human touch, very different situation than you would with a lot of other software out there. I mean, I don't even know a software company who does this way. So I think we're kind of unique even in the software world.
And also, Josh, you are forgetting to talk about one of my favorite things about Handbid, which is the Wednesday webinar. I mean, I think the Wednesday webinar is amazing. And I think the reason that I like it the most is because we didn't have it until recently. And it's just kind of gone gangbusters. I feel like our clients, they appreciate it, but also prospective clients will come in and start to ask questions. And it's designed for folks to come into the webinar style and go into listen only mode and ask the questions to our tech team, and they'll walk you through the answer just like we're doing in this today, except it's free and it's every week. So what we really love is when our clients, I mean, we believe that we have a tool that's usable if you spend some time learning it, right? I mean, you're going to have to spend some time learning it. And so that's okay, because it's fun and it's easy. So we help you. So this Wednesday webinar is designed to kind of take you over the edge of your learning. So you get your foundation built with a knowledge base and with your occasional questions on the chat or the email. And then you come and you bring your learning brain. And then you sit down and say to Seth or Josh or whoever's running the Wednesday webinar, I have a few questions about the social media sharing process, or I have some questions about how to run my virtual live stream. And so that I think is a really added benefit too.
Thanks, Diana. We love the webinar. I really do enjoy doing it. It's really fun. People pop in and ask us all kinds of things that a lot of it has nothing to do with Handbid. We're always come with some crazy idea. We had I think one of my favorites, and David remembers this, where a group asked us to come up with an idea to do something that was pirate themed. And so we had an executive director walk the plank based on how many donations they got. That was the thermometer. And then they had to jump into this lake. Do you remember that, David?
Oh my goodness, do I remember. They even sent us the video of the ED jumping into a pool of water at their event. Incredible. And what was the other one? It was pay to swing at the piñata. It was both in the same webinar.
I forgot about the piñata. That was super good.
Both of them incredible ideas. But I mean, I think that is right, that those webinars, not only are they software related, they're event related. I mean, Diana, Josh, been to tons of events. And so tune in, ask us any questions under the sun. We're here to answer that and help you along the way. I will mention one of the things I love, because I haven't done that yet. And we got a question here. Can we get a copy of the pricing? Well, we're transparent. And whether it's service teams getting set up to our pricing on the website, that's no hidden fees, no hitches that at the end of the day you're gonna be like, I don't remember signing up for this or this 3% fee. Everything's right up front in your face for pricing. And so Diana, you want to go over this real quick with everybody?
Sure thing. So if you go to handbid.com and then hover over this tab here, auctions, and then go right to pricing, this screen will pop up for you. And this is also in a brochure. I'm happy to send you one. But our pricing starts on the smallest scale at the simple model. So what this means is that you have, under the umbrella of 1 year, you have the ability to use up to one auction. So our contracts are a year long, but within that time frame of a year, you can run one auction and up to 3 non-auction events. So we'll get to that in a second, but getting back to the auction, what that means is with Simple, you would have up to 25 silent auction items to run through the system. If you happen to need to go over 25, then you can purchase a 50 item add-on for $300. The items that don't apply to this number here, right, are all your appeals, all of your for sale items. If you have anything that going in point of sale, or if you just do a $100 donation or $1,000 donation, those don't apply to your 25. So if you need to do an add-on for this model, this ticketing is another 200. And then credit card fees for all of our packages are 3.5%, and there's a 30 cents per transaction. Please keep in mind that a Handbid does have functionality that would allow you as the organization to prompt the bidder to cover the fee. And the support team tells me that there's like a 90 to 95% acceptance rate with that question. So you should ask, because people are going to say yes.
They're almost always willing to pay it. I mean, it's pretty amazing. We track that data, and yeah, they're very happy to pay it. They don't want you to have to cover the credit card fee. So yeah. Sure,
I love it. So okay, so then what is a non-auction event? Well, Handbid is a few things. We mentioned earlier, it's a peer-to-peer. It's also a crowdfunder. You could run something like this. This is our puzzle platform. So with something like this, imagine like a before-after picture. So just so I don't have to charge my credit card, I'm going to just go ahead and add this to the back end. So I'm just going to buy a bunch of puzzle pieces so that you see exactly what I'm talking about. So then what you're going to start to witness is this new image that's going to be unveiled underneath. And so this is your kind of before, after. What's the goal you're to? And together you can go and achieve this goal. That's the whole idea of this crowdfunder. So this is really unique in this space. Everybody kind of has a thermometer. I mean, even we have a thermometer, but Handbid has a puzzle. So that's really cool. So getting back to pricing, you can use Handbid to run a puzzle. This fee to run puzzle or peer-to-peer is 3% of your revenue. But you could also just do a straight up donation campaign, no extra fee for something like that. So, and then the price model just goes up by number of silent auction items you run in the system, or the number of auctions you run per year. So it's going to bump up to $12.95 for 125 items. You can do another 50 item add-on, or if you've got a lot of items, you can purchase the Plus model. Plus does include ticketing. So that's important to remember. So if you've got a big gala coming up and you're thinking, oh my gosh, we need to just have everything in one place. I want my sponsorships. I want to be able to manage my guest list on the back end. I want to use the bulk editor and put everybody at a table. I want it all. Then that Plus model would be perfect. And then premium is going to be 6 auctions per year. So that's $24.95, 6 auctions per year, unlimited items, unlimited bidders. Ticketing is included in all of that, and then unlimited non-auction events as well. And then we have an unlimited pricing plan that we can talk about.
So love that. Thanks for sharing, Diana. What to mention too is we will have over the summer we're working on some subscription type annual or pricing as well. So stay tuned. If you're not sure if you're looking to do fundraiser right now, maybe you're looking to make a decision in the fall, we should be rolling out some new pricing there. We'd like to extend this to all of Ocala community foundations members. We're going to do a $100 referral discount as well. So you will probably be working with our dear Diana Duplanche. Yes. Thank you, Diana. But we'd like to extend that to all of your members. And yeah, just feel free to give us a shout. We'd love to work with you and start planning today.
So generous. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Of course.
Appreciate that completely. Now, if somebody is watching this after the fact and they want to take advantage of this, what is the best way for someone to get in contact with you guys so that they can take advantage of this discount?
So there's 2 things we can do. I can create a Kelsey, I can create a page for you that would
Okay.
then be a form that we could then just pass stuff over to Diana
Okay.
from your area. I think we can do that. And then also, if they just mention that they're members with you guys,
Perfect.
we will honor that discount, of course.
I just wanted to make sure that there's some way for people to get up, because we're going to put this on YouTube, and we get people who watch this after the fact. I just want to make sure they can reach out.
Of course, and then just our request a demo tab in the top right. You go in there, you have an entire box where you can write in questions, what your events are, detail out your event, what you're trying to do, and maybe even mention there as well.
Fantastic. Well, I also have everybody's contact information, so if anybody needs to get a hold of you, I will happily connect you all. But this has been so fascinating. I still don't have any comments on Facebook, and Lauren asked both of my comments that I had here in the Zoom chat with us. So I feel like we've covered everything. Is there anything else y'all want to add with our last couple of seconds we got left?
Diana?
Oh,
Josh?
sorry. Okay, sorry. I went like in a weird hotspot area. I mean, I just want to thank you for this opportunity. I've enjoyed chatting with you, and I look forward to hearing people's feedback from your organization and just getting their take on things. We're happy to answer questions.
Awesome. Josh, any parting thoughts?
No, I was going to say the same thing. Thank you. And I want people to be brave and courageous and jump into this, especially if you're considering a virtual auction. This is the time to do it. And there's very little overhead. So consider it. I mean, I think that's the thing people sometimes forget, is that may not have to do the ballroom and buy all the stuff. And all you need is Handbid and our team to kind of help you get that virtual auction off the ground. And so you can really cut down your overhead and make a bunch more money for your awesome mission. So I love this. I love what's happening right now.
Everybody loves more money. Okay, David, your final thoughts.
No final thoughts. Diana, Josh, thank you both. And Kelsey, we really do appreciate it. Thank you for having us today. And any additional questions you have, feel free to shoot them our way. And as well as anyone who's viewing now, just let us know. And we'd love to brainstorm with you and help you reach your fundraising goals.
Thank you, David. Bye, Josh's kids. And thank you so much, Diana and Josh
Sorry,
as well,
guys.
for all of your time. You guys have been great. If you have any other questions, y'all always feel free to reach out to me, Kelsey at ocalafoundation.org. Until then, have a great rest of your Tuesday, and you guys take care. Thank you so much again.
You're welcome. Thank
Thank
you.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
guys.
Bye.